Behold, another Dropouts upload. You love to see it. Today guys, we're back with another video and it's a bit different this time. It's not just me, it's triple trouble today. I'd like you to welcome Sam back onto the channel, and also Jack joins the show. I don't know if it's just my experience, but a lot of people have just sort of come to the conclusion, I feel at this point, that games in 2020 just aren't that fun. I've been thinking about this for a while and I wanted to dig a little bit deeper today into why games in 2020 are so different from the games we sort of grew up with and grew to love, that caused us to now brand ourselves as gamers, or you know, whatever you're, casual or the most hardcore of hardcore people out there when it comes to games, or if you're even more hardcore than that and you upload YouTube videos of yourself playing games. Crazy world we live in, right? But the gaming community's had kind of a hit recently with the likes of, I'm not gonna name too many names or go into too many details, but we've seen people be taken off Twitch. We've seen a lot of creators get cancelled for various reasons, some more legit than others. I won't get into that. Now, in my experience, I think what it comes down to is that a lot of games nowadays are made for the hype. Similarly to how YouTube's kind of transitioned into people trying to get viral videos rather than, you know, creators that would just post gaming videos once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week. Everyone's waiting for that one thing to happen to them that they can post on YouTube and make it go viral. Games are very similar. The one area that I think games performed much better in back in the day, let's say, is in the way that games would create communities online out of nothing. You know, you join a game without looking to play with anyone. Like, I personally grew up in the Xbox Live party days, and you know, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, everyone was shouting and bantering each other, which is great. But beyond that, it was kind of like you played with your friends and you met new friends through your other friends and played with them. I feel like that doesn't happen much now online. I feel like a lot of people are streaming games, and one of my friends actually said to me that the thing that's ruined games is that everybody tries to treat them like an esport, and everyone's trying to be the best and everyone's trying to get better numbers and best, you know. I mean, it's always been like that competitively with games, but more so in the past. I think it was about logging on a Friday night after your day at school, after your day at work, and just seeing your squad, clan, guild, crew, whatever it may be, your friends, catching up with them, talking about real life stuff, and just playing until, you know, the early hours of the morning and just having fun. For me, I haven't done that in a while, and I kind of miss that feeling, and that's where I think some of the older games that we're going to show off in this video, they just really get it right. I haven't seen a game do that in a while. I think that also has something to do with how the meta has shifted in games from like the MMORPG days of where like World of Warcraft, you know, League of Legends, I can't believe I didn't mean League of Legends. World of Warcraft, just Star Wars: The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2. A lot of these games that fall into this category you might not have even heard of. It's really led me to think about how games are really in a dangerous place where they're becoming not about the enjoyment anymore and just becoming way too competitive. And for someone that enjoys esports and competitions of all kinds, I think the reason that a lot of gaming now is being labelled as toxic is something I've been thinking about for a while. So I didn't want this video just to be me coming on here and talking to you guys about my opinion of games and how my experience has changed. So I actually discussed it with 2 fellow dropouts, and we got them in the video today, and you're going to see what they think about the state of gaming in 2020, I guess. I don't think that's what we're going to call the video, but I think that's more or less what it is. So I hope you enjoy. Please hit the like button, tweet me, subscribe. Keep up the love that you showed in the last video, and we promise to try and upload as regularly as possible from now on. We're not doing badly. I mean, we're getting there.
There's a sock in my pocket. Okay. Just wanted to say massive thank you to everybody on the support for the last video. It was good. It was a good video. Alex put it out in quite a short amount of time. I think he did it in 1 day. Hopefully a lot more content this summer. Trying to ramp up things. So I'm here in this video to talk about my experience with toxicity in gaming. Right, and I'm going to talk about World of Warcraft, which I think was a massive game in my childhood. And I want to talk about the reasons why I played it for a start, the reasons why I stopped playing it, and the stuff that I've moved on to now, and like why I just find it a lot better and a lot more relaxing. Alright, yeah, picture this. 6-year-old me. Was I 6? When the 8-year-old me goes to his nan's house where the only computer is, and he sits down and he says, and this game comes out, World of Warcraft, a little ad for this game, Mr. T. I think it was Mr. T.
Some smack talking fool's been saying Mr. T can't change the World of Warcraft.
That one. And I'm like, damn, I want to play this game. So I asked my nan, and she was like, yeah, just load it up on a computer. But obviously, like, I couldn't pay for it because I was 8. So I would just sit and do the free trial again and again and again. For about 2 years, I was so good at this free trial. So yeah, my mum allows me to get an account finally. Sit down, start playing. Nice little level 1. Instantly invited to a guild. Instantly. And I joined, and there was like 200 people in there. Just spam chatting everything. And I was like, this is so stressful. This is stressful. So I left the guild. I played a little bit on my own. I played quite a lot on my own, actually. And then I joined this other guild. I got invited to a little guild with like 20 people in it. It was chill. I joined. Everyone was very welcoming. It was like something you hadn't experienced before in gaming, at least for me. Like a whole community around it and a chance to build friendships, which is what I think was the reason why I stayed on WoW for so long. And then I started getting more into the competitive side, started playing high-end raids, doing a lot of like high-end PvP. Oh, I used to run home every day from school and I'd just sit down and I'd just start playing WoW, start chatting to all of my guild mates. Like, it would be like a little mini family. You'd stay up late at night with them. The second you come home from school, you was talking to them and playing with them. And like, you build relationships. You build good relationships with people that have like stood the test of time. I'm still good friends with a lot of people from my old guild, and we still talk regularly. I would say in total, I definitely played well over for at least 5,000 hours of that game. I was addicted to that game so badly. The more addicted I got, the more I got into the high-end, high raids, rated battlegrounds, and that's when I started to notice this just horrible level of toxicity. If you do one thing wrong, if you miss an interrupt or you get baited, it's like kill yourself, leave, uninstall, do everything. And like as a 15-year-old kid, that sucked. Like that sucked to see. It was terrible. So yeah, eventually I left WoW, and I think that's probably the reason why you see a lot of people leaving nowadays from games like WoW and other like toxic games like CS and the very, very like toxic games where the community around it is so toxic, especially when you look and you go on Twitch or YouTube and you see all these people streaming and their chats are just filled with hate. It was just incredibly toxic. I wouldn't want to personally go through it. So I left WoW, and then a couple years went by, and then I started playing RuneScape, a bit old school RuneScape. And personally, I think it is the greatest game ever made. Period. And the thing with RuneScape was that while the game is still grindy, incredibly grindy, it's more of a relaxed grind, and you don't feel pressure to be the best, or because you're rewarded at every level. Every level brings its own kind of rewards, its own different kind of grind to it. And also the community is so nice. They're just really nice people. Obviously you have your few that are toxic and tell you to kill yourself, but for the most part, the community on RuneScape is just delightful. Everybody's there to help. Everybody wants to lend a hand. You ask someone one question, they'll give you the answer. Then there's the clan chat. And then with that clan chat, you build communities the same way you used to do in WoW with small guilds. And it's fun. It's just fun.
So I want to talk about playing games solely for enjoyment. Strange concept that, isn't it? How can we focus solely on the enjoyment of a game? Some may say they get their enjoyment from the competitiveness, or even just the gambling aspects of the microtransactions. But when was the last time you truly sat there playing a game and thought, I hope they come out with another one of these? Or realizing the time and surprising yourself? Now you may be thinking, oh, Minecraft is just a cog in an infinite conglomerate that is a mere shadow of its former self and simply Okay, maybe some of you aren't saying that, but nevertheless I shall shamelessly white knight for this masterpiece. When it first came to fruition, you merely had blocks to place on a lying flat surface. And now there's villages, blended biomes, powerful enemies, and new items being added all the time. From the age of 11, I always had that itch to play this blaster game from wake till sleep. By the way, I would not suggest this. It really ruined my social standing at school. However, ignoring the simple commoners that did not understand art, I made multiple YouTube videos with this game. Sure, they were recorded at 1000 by 600 at 12 FPS because I had no idea how, but that doesn't matter! It was my gateway to somewhat being creative in my little old village where it took 30 minutes to see any sign of civilization. And with that large separation from society, I was left to my virtual platforms. Even from the beginning, the community was open and welcoming. It didn't matter where you came from, how much money you had, maybe diamonds, who you were in general, as long as you could survive a night in alpha, you were sorted. And now to see these simple vanilla servers prosper and evolve into such things as Windcraft or Hypixel is incredible. I even remember the crappy web version that was the only free way to play Minecraft back in the day. Business aside, this game started as a humble project for Marcus Persson, who eventually made a fat bag from it, but as he should. It was his baby, to which he deserves compensation for the blood, sweat and tears. For all of those years of us being able to play until 4 AM, even on a school day, just because we wanted to. Not because we had to grind levels, but because it was fun. That is a sign of a game that will stand the pull of time.
Now, the gameplay you're seeing here is actually from a game called Guild Wars 2. It's not a massively popular game. The player base is decent, but the chances are you won't know anybody that plays it other than me now, and I think actually Jack does, and I think my brother does. But it's not huge compared to the likes of World of Warcraft. It doesn't pull nearly as many players. Having said that, it is free to play, so go and check it out. It's a really cool game. I'm running around with loads of other players, and the way to succeed in this kind of quest that we're on now is through teamwork. I feel like this is how games build community a lot better than they do now. I think way too many games nowadays you can just jump on with a couple of strangers who you might really get along with or you might really hate and just play for yourself. And to be honest, even I'm personally quite guilty of that, but you know, that's how games are designed nowadays, and people are going to find a way to play for themselves if they can. So just an interesting take on gaming from me in 2020. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's slightly different to what we usually are looking to post, but we were kind of we didn't want to post more Call of Duty videos, so this is what you're stuck with today. Hopefully we'll be posting soon again this week, and stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, or send me a message or a tweet and we can start a conversation on it, because I think a lot of us have a common interest in gaming. So it'll be interesting to see what you've been playing, how you've been playing it, and whether you enjoy it as much as you did when you were 12. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all very soon.
How sad's that?